Sharing my screen. Share. Yeah. Uh, I have shared something in WhatsApp group that would be your mini project on data factory. We'll discuss it after this at the end of this class. I shared it, right? Yes, project title and all. Just go through it. Just in description how it's going to be, what we need to build and all. Fine. First, we left it somewhere with the pagination thing. I did not get time to look in the pagination, which when there is no next and previous, when someone asked the doubt, right? I'll get back to that in the next class. I was so much packed till now. So what I wanted to discuss is one pipeline which we left off, one use case or real-time scenario is incremental copy of files, right? What we discussed was last 2 days, last 3 days, uh, the files it was selecting, we wanted to select files from a folder where files have come between last run and this run. Okay, so for that, we need to store or save the runtime somewhere. So for storing or saving the runtime, we will create an SQL database and a table. So we have one database, right? We'll go to our SQL databases. We have ARSQL DB, which we are using. Log into this. So as a part of the project, one of the source I said that we'll have one MySQL server. So tomorrow or today or tomorrow, day after tomorrow, try installing MySQL server on your laptop. It is very easy to install. There is nothing needed actually. Just install MySQL server on your system. It is self-explanatory only. You can install, and I'll provide you the code to create a database and put the values there. So once the MySQL server is installed on your system or a laptop, then we can using integration runtime, we can integration and link service, we can connect to the source. So that would be your on-prem SQL server, on-prem SQL MySQL server, right? So other two sources would be, one would be blob storage and one would be Azure SQL DB only. So we'll get sources data from all these sources and we'll build the pipelines accordingly. So coming to this, our real-time scenario is to uh, copy the files from a folder which are basically modified, where last modified date is between last run and this run. So that is the requirement, right? So to save the run time, we need some place. So we'll store it in the SQL database. So for this, I have code and I'll share it with you also. I just wanted to create one table with only two columns. Simple one. I'll show you. It is just create table, which the name is pipeline run history, where the one column is pipeline name, which is varchar of 100, which means characters of 100, and last runtime table, the date time format, right? So I'll run this. Table is created. So now I want to put values into this, like default values only, right? Because when I am running for the first time, there should be some reference value, right? If you are, I am running, I'll build the pipeline, I'm running for the first time, then it should take from last 10 days or last 15 days, some file should be taken, right? After that, this run date would be saved in the same SQL DB. So for that purpose, I am putting some value which is of 0101 2000, right? So I'll just put insert this into this. Just a second. Right. So now it's been inserted. We'll check. When you check this, you will find one entry in this table, which is my pipeline and the last runtime. We have put this default runtime. From next time onwards, this will be overwritten, right? Fine. So, advantage of this table and having two columns and all is for every other pipeline, you can have one pipeline name and its last runtime. So you can maintain this table for all the pipelines. I mean, not for all the pipelines, wherever it's needed. For multiple pipelines also, you can access this only table. This one table you can access for different pipelines also, where you'll give your pipeline and further pipeline last runtime you can save. So next time when you're running it, you can take the value from here. Right. Fine. This is we have created this table and put the last runtime here. Right. Next, we will go to our data factory, create a new pipeline. So the first activity is to get the value from SQL table. Fine. So we have something called lookup activity. In lookup activity, what if you create a data set and link to the service, it will get the data from there. So I'll create a source data set. We have to create connect to SQL DB, right? So it will be Azure SQL database. The link service would be our SQL DB one. We'll see what is there in this. DB pipeline and history. This is our table, right? So I have selected the same. Okay. So here I don't want the entire table. I select query and I'll say select last runtime from pipeline and history where pipeline name equal to my pipeline. This is what I needed, right? I just wanted my pipeline name, my last runtime history, that value only, where pipeline name is my pipeline name. So we'll name this pipeline also as my pipeline only. So it is in sync, not needed mandatory, but just so that we understand, we'll follow something, right? So this will be my pipeline. So there also this pipeline's data is there. So this is first lookup activity. Then what we'll do the actual copy activity, right? So in this copy activity, so what is the output of this lookup activity? Whatever has come here, okay, we'll check the output and then we'll create this copy data activity. So we'll debug this. We'll see what is the output of this lookup activity and how to access the value. We'll understand. Right. So output of this lookup activity. See, if we got the output in the last runtime value, this came in this first row, right? First row, there is some JSON value, key value pair, key value is first row, and in that last runtime is there. So we'll access the output of the lookup activity. In that we'll access first row. In that value we'll get it here, right? So here we'll add copy activity, we'll connect to this. So we need to access the output of the copy activity, where we will use this source. First, the folder from where the files have to be taken, that we will decide, right? Azure Data Lake Gen 2, CSV files, link services, storage account 1. Okay, where are we'll take some folder, input data, say dummy folder. What are there in dummy folder? Some files are there. Fine. Okay. Okay. Right. Start time, we need to this end time is UTC now only. End time is current time, right? We know that functions, right? So end time is UTC now only. Basically, last time also we used the same. Start time would be the last end time that we are getting from this lookup activity, right? So we have to access the output of the lookup activity. So lookup activity dot first row dot what else is there as the output lookup activity first row dot last runtime is a value. I'll copy this also. see so that I'm not wrong. First row dot last runtime. This value. So the files which are last updated between modified date between this runtime, this value and this value will get copied. Right. So copy activity. Where do you want to put the sync? We'll select something. Azure Data Lake Gen 2, CSV, link service, output data. We'll create some output folder and put it there. No issue. Open output 28032025. Right. These files will come here. Fantastic. Okay, this is done. So copy activity will take care. It will copy the runs between. So what do we have to do next? We have to we have to write the current pipeline runtime to the SQL database SQL in the table, right? We have this table, right? In this place, we have to write override this with our current pipeline runtime, so that next time it will take the difference from that runtime and current runtime, right? So that we should do, and here we should put this wildcard path input data. What from input data where we are getting this, like star.csv, we have to take all csv files, right? Forgot, and here input data dummy folder, fine. So from input data dummy folder, all the CSV files you should get it. So next we have to add a script activity. I want to add a script activity. Basically, script activity is used to run any kind of SQL code in the particular on any database, right? Here we'll create a data set and a link service. So link service will create so that it on that link service on the database it will run. So link service, we have the link service SQL DB1 only. So whatever query we have, we'll give here, that query will run on this SQL DB1. For this, I have the query. So what does this query say? Show you. It says update pipeline run history, which is this update pipeline run history. This is table where set the last runtime equal to current runtime. Last runtime, current runtime. Current runtime is just the parameter here. I'll pass the parameter value down. I'll add it. So set last runtime equal to current runtime. Where pipeline equal to my pipeline. Where pipeline equal to my pipeline, this value get updated. That is I am sending as a query from my script activity. So here I'll add parameter. Parameter would time would be current runtime. Okay, so parameter, so this value will go here. So this current runtime, where should I get this value from? We have already seen the system variable, right? Pipeline trigger time. This is the time. So whenever the pipeline gets triggered, that time will be noted. That time will be noted into this. So this will be input. Right, now we'll publish this and run and see. Script activity parameter can't be type empty. Okay, type it is date time. Publish all, publish all. So first time what will happen, the 4 files which are in the folder that will get copied and the pipeline runtime will get updated on the first run. We'll do that. So there are, we'll go to storage account. There are 4 databases there. Sorry, storage account, -22, containers, input data, dummy, 4 files. These 4 files will get copied. It's a debug, right? Okay. Run failed. Pipeline this details null. What happened? Failed to run my pipeline. Why? URL details, code bad request message null target pipeline run ID. Why is not running? Let's check the integration runtime once. Looks good. Debug. What is the problem? Lookup activity settings. First row only. Details null error null. Settings. This is not the issue. I don't know. Some dumb issue is there. So it's dumb star.csv. This is nice only UTC now. Let's see. Okay. Bad file path. Actually, our pipeline is correct because I taught the same to a different batch. Very first only. Um, so file card, file path, file modified, and list of files sync. It should not be a problem. It is not the problem. The parameters variables there, output, lookup, user properties. Current runtime, unable to parse expression current runtime, target pipeline, unable to parse expression current runtime. Oops. Okay, debug at current runtime. Array, yeah. Now it will run. In the parameters below, I gave with at the rate of I just copied it and put in there. It is unable to put take this as a name where in the parameters. So I just removed the at the rate and it came right. It was that's what I was saying. It was a blunder and it was stopping. It was giving error. Right. We will check the output folder itself, containers, output data, let it run. Done. So OP 28 2025, I got the 4 files. Right. So now if I remove these files, what should actually happen? So these files are already copied. So our pipeline runtime has also been updated. If I run this pipeline again, these files should not be copied, right? Because these are older than the current runtime. So we'll debug this again, say publish. To debug, what should happen is nothing should be copied in this runtime because those files are last modified date is older than this time, right? So that should not get copied. Right. So we'll go to the output, refresh. Array, why did they get copied? What is the last modified date list? Since we have copied it, the last modified date got updated. Nice. 929. Oh, storage account. Say 22. Put that dummy. Right. So since if it is updating these, what we should do is we should add a delete activity so that after transferring this file, those file would not be there on the folder, and then would not be on the folder. So wherever a new file is added, that would be taken from here. So if we add some file here today, now then here the last modified date is 17th only, no, but still we did not. We got updated, but why did it happen? Copy data sync. Needed. We'll go to our SQL DB, SQL database, SQL DB, query editor. What is the time in the last? Uh, 7. We'll check the time in the SQL DB. So last runtime did not get updated because my pipeline last runtime. That's why it is giving all the old ones. Last runtime, my pipeline. There is something issue. Last runtime is equal to at current runtime where pipeline equal this current runtime date time. Yes, this we'll put it as input. Then we'll debug this. We'll see. So now this should have updated. Run it again. So this time the runtime has been updated. So now in the output folder, so here in this output folder, storage accounts, say 22, here output folder, those four files would be there. Now if I delete and run the pipeline again, next time we should not get it. Okay, OP 28 2025. If I delete this pipeline and run again, delete, and if I run this again, this time I should not see the four files because my last runtime has been updated there. So here if I see here, the files are not here. So here if I see again, the last runtime has been updated, right? So now if I put some file here this time, some CSV file from my folder, that should get updated because after this run and next run, I want the files to be right. So this some sales file, sales.upload. Right, if I run the pipeline again, this sales 100 file should get copied because that last modified date of this file would be after the previous run and this run. Check that also. Put, अरे यार I have put it in output folder. I am doing something and container input data dummy upload browse sales 100 upload. Now run that pipeline. Now you should see output folder OP. You got one file only, and this also should get updated. So this has got updated. So this pipeline is working fine now. We'll publish this and go to next. So and one more thing we did not discuss was key vault. We'll understand what key vault is, how it is used. Okay, so there is something of key vault. What is key vault used for? Key vault is used for basically to save your passwords. Until now, when we are using these link services, right? So we come to link services. Whenever we create a link service, we already use this password here. We are giving the hard coded value. And generally, when in real time scenarios, when you're working in an organization, the password would not be shared with you because these are the credentials to a different resource. So those credentials would not be shared with developer also, right? So those credentials will be saved as a secret in the key vault, and some tag name for that secret would be given to me. With the tag name, I can use this here to create a link service, but I can't go and directly access the database. Here we are going directly to the database, right? Normally, you will not be given access to access the database directly like this. Anything you want to create a table, you want to put some values here, all that you will ask the DBA guys or the infra guys or the DevOps guys to create it for you. You will not have access. For these also, for credentials also, only you will be given, they will create a secret in the Azure Key Vault and give you the key value. In that the password will be stored. So that we'll understand. So how do you create a key vault? I'll create a key vault. So same subscription, select same resource group, the keyword name, the keyword is US region, same access configuration. In access configuration, select vault access policy. Do not use this. So then it is giving access to the user, this user, right? Fine. So networking, review and create. So this keyword would be created. So this user has access to create access the keyword. We will go to keyword and see what else is there.
मीटिंग चल रही तेरी
Go to resource. This is the keyword, right? So in keyword, we have something called objects here and we have secrets. We will store our passwords in the secret to create save a password. So say generate import, you can say this is SQLDB, here SQLDB, right? This password I'll save here. Say a, you can put any name here for your password, just like a tag name so that you can refer here. So just to remember it easily, ARSQLDB, I'll say password. I'll save the password here. Basically, this keyword secrets access you won't have. The infra guys or DevOps guys will create it. Only thing what they do, they create the secret value, right? They'll give you the name here to you. You will use that name while creating the link service. We'll just create it here and I tell you how it works. So now I want to create a link service. Say I'll create a new link service, same like this only. Azure SQL DB itself. And I want to show one thing more also. Let's do that. Azure SQL database. So here subscription is this only. We can share the server ARSQL server, right? Yes. And database is ARSQL DB. Authentication is SQL authentication. Username. We'll see the username here. Admin user. So in case of password, you have to use Azure keyword. So to use this also for Azure keyword service, you have to create a link service because it's a different resource. Whenever you want to access a different resource, you are creating link service, right? For Azure keyword also, you need to create a link service. So say Azure keyword. In subscription, it will show you what are keywords are there. Today, now what I created, Archana RG keyword I have created. Select this and you say create and you can create a link service. But here, what we are doing, we are accessing a different keyword. I mean, different resource. If we accessing this SQL DB, what are we are giving SQL ID password and all we have given, right? Right. So again, in to access the storage account also, we have given some key we have copied. So Azure Key Vault, we have just selected it here, but we need to go to Azure Key Vault and give permission to this particular data factory to access the Azure Key Vault. For that, you will go to access policies and you have to create an access policy. And for this data factory, what all do you want to give? You want to give two operations, get and list. I don't want to give all the rights to this data factory. Only data factory, what it can do, it can get the values, get the secret values from this keyword or list the secret values from this keyword. Or else all other options are not giving. So select these, go next and now select the data factory name. What is your data factory name? ARCH Archana ADF1. This is my data factory name. Next. So you have given rights to this data factory. You can see this here. Now go to your data factory. Now link service is created, right? Now you will be able to create an access and secret from there. Sorry, Azure SQL DB, right? Wait. Azure SQL database. Subscription is same. ARSQL server. Database would be ARSQL DB1. This is admin user. So here, without hard coding the password, you will go to Azure Key Vault. Here AKV link service is there. You will select the Azure Key Vault link service which you have created. The name is here Azure Key Vault 1. In that, after selecting it, since this data factory has got the permission to get the list of secret names there. So if you refresh this, it will give you the secret name. There is only one secret name, so you can see this and select it. But if you have 10 secrets already created, it will give all the secrets. In that you can select. So that this key vault will go and take the, fetch the password for this secret name. Right. Latest version, you can use the latest one. Now you can check it by using test connection. So this data factory is connected to the SQL DB using the password. We are not hard coding the password here. It is going to Key Vault and fetching the password and getting it connected. Right. This is how you use Key Vault. So for in Key Vault, you can put anything. You can put SQL passwords also, or else while creating this storage account, what did we do? We got the storage key account key, right? This also you can create in Key Vault. You can create a secret for this key vault also, put that account key, and here without giving the account key directly, you can use this key vault. So for anything, you can use key vault service. Anything which you are saving, generally it used for saving passwords or keys. For the same thing, you will use the keyword service, right? So generally, in real-time scenarios in the organization, the infra guys or Azure DevOps guys, what they'll do, they'll create passwords all whichever resource you want to connect, whether it is Azure resources also, or whether it is HTTP REST API site also. In that also credentials would be needed sometimes, right? For that password would be there. That password they will fetch for you and they'll put it in your keyword. From keyword, they will give you only the secret name. With that secret name, you will access using this Azure keyword option. Right, so that the individual developer will not have direct access to any resource. This is a kind of security. Right. Okay, so generally they use keyword only. Normally they'll not use any hard-coded values. Okay, that is how key vault works. And I wanted to discuss another topic also, create a pipeline. There is an activity called execute pipeline activity. So what does this execute pipeline activity? It is similar to our data flow activity. When we selected data flow activity, right? What did it do? In data flow activity, we have selected a data flow and that data flow ran for you, right? So the same way in execute pipeline activity, when you go to settings, you can select other pipeline here and you can run it from this pipeline. Right. Then what is the use? You can have a question that what is the use of putting the pipeline here and then running it from a different pipeline? What is you can do orchestration like which pipeline should run after which pipeline? You can have multiple execute pipelines activities here. 2, 3, 4. Right. If you want, if you are connecting them like this. What it means is after this activity is done only, these two activities it will go. After this activity is done only, it will go to here activity. So if you want to run first your pipeline number 1 first, and then you want to run your pipeline 2 and 3 after that, you can point this to your pipeline number 1, point this to your pipeline number 2, point this to your pipeline number 3. So after pipeline 1 ran only, it will go to pipeline 2 and pipeline 3. And offline pipeline 2 only, this will run. This you can, whatever pipeline you can choose. It can be in any order. Only thing is when pipelines are interdependent on each other to run, you can use this execute pipeline activities. Right. If you want to say, I have shared the project description, right? In that there is a condition that only after the data has been fetched from the source, the data flows should run. In that case, I'll use this only. Right. First one pipeline should run. Only after successful completion, the second pipeline should run. I'll do the execute pipeline activities. So when in the initial class, when I gave demo, I was saying that Azure Data Factory, these orchestration would be easy. Here, this orchestration would be easy. In real-time scenarios, what we generally do is we have multiple pipelines doing similar kind of jobs. I mean, uh, say getting copy from different sources. One source it will get, other source it will get, right? For that, we'll do, we'll create a pipeline with name master pipeline. In this master pipeline, we will create all the execute pipeline activities, right? And we will orchestrate such that each pipeline will run after each other. We'll put a trigger to this master pipeline. So you put a trigger to this master pipeline at 7 a.m. Even if this pipeline takes more time than normal, only after this pipeline completes only, it will go to the next pipeline because that next pipeline would be dependent on this. The data coming from this pipeline will be used in the next pipeline. So generally we have master pipeline with name master pipeline. In that there would be combination of multiple pipelines. For that we use this execute pipeline activity. Right. Okay. We got keyword, we got execute activity pipeline. So I have shared a project details with you, which we would be discussing in the next class. I just wanted to give some intro on that. So just go through this text. There would be 3 sources. One would be Azure Blob Storage, one would be Azure SQL Database, one would be on-prem MySQL Server. Later today night or tomorrow morning, I will be sharing you the code to set up this data. So the CSV files format, the schema and all is given here. To set up the data, I'll give you the code. I'll give you data for this two CSV files, and I'll give you SQL code to set up these databases also. Database, and to put dummy code in that also, I'll provide you the code. So in meantime, I'll anyway we'll set up the data from scratch and I'll show you. But in meantime, set up this data, set up the sources, set up this data in tomorrow to like 2 days we have time, right? So if you set this data when I'm directly building the pipelines, you'll understand it easily. I'll anyway I'll set up this data in front of you only. Then I'll build pipelines and I'll then show you the simple pipelines only. Okay. First you set up the data so that we'll get some while setting up the data, if you have any issues, we can clear it there only. So we have three sources. We are getting files from there. First, we'll take these files to put it in a staging table, staging layer. From the staging layer, we have to join these files and create three tables in a different SQL table with dim customer, where it consolidates customer and loyalty data. In dim product, it will consolidate product catalog, and fact sales will merge three tables into one, where customer, product, and sales, three tables will be combined here, right? So this is how we are going to build this, right? Yes, I'll share you the details for setting up the data, and if you want to set up the data, just read this and try to build the pipeline, or else I'll definitely show in the next class. But this, after doing this project, as soon as project is done, we'll also see how we'll configure data factory to Git to maintain a repo in GitHub, and how to configure to GitHub, and how do we do the CI/CD process. Once along with this project only, we'll see, so that we'll get more clarity. What we are building the project in the pipeline, then we'll configure to the GitHub, then we'll try to deploy the same pipeline to a different environment. Then we'll understand what we are doing in the actual scenario in an organization or a company, right? Fine, guys. So try to set up this data. I'll give you the data. If you have anything, you can ping me on WhatsApp. I'm always available there. Right, guys? Any questions in today's class? One thing that I'll come back to this. Last time we have left the pagination one, right? Without any next or previous. Just is there infinity data there? How to fetch all the data page by page until it is done. I will get back to the pipeline. I have not worked on it. I did not get time to see it also. We'll get back to that. Anything else, guys? So we can have class on Monday, right? I'm just asking because it's a holiday for everyone.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah,
Okay. We
fine
can
for
have,
me.
yeah. Then or else I'll put a poll on the group. Just everybody who says yes, answer it so that we'll have fine. Okay, we'll do that project, start with the project, and then next, maybe in the next class or the same class, we'll do GitHub configuration also. Okay, guys, then good night. Yes.
Shashank, just one question actually. Not in this actually. I was
Yeah.
setting the SQL database server.
Okay.
So I'm facing a problem actually.
What is the issue, Vikas?
Can I share my screen? It is telling that your region is not valid for your
Yeah,
subscription.
change, put it in a different region, not an issue.
I tried with most of them, but it's saying that it is not. I mean, for
You can
every
use you can use Australian region. Maybe it will work. Actually, for me, it's working.
which one?
Australia,
Australia East or
Australia East.
okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it worked. It worked.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sishan, can you stop recording? Maybe if
Yes.
everyone drop,
I
can
I
I
stopped the
need
recording.
to
Yes,
stop
tell me.
recording? Yes.
I have a question, Sashank.
Yes.
So my is expiring by maybe in 1 or 2 days. So can you please guide us also in the next class how we can optimize the costs? Because mostly it will be for 1 month, right?
Until you are using data factory only, nothing will be there. Only 400-500 per month you will get cost.
4 by
400-500 per month you will get cost. Until you are using data
Oh.
factory storage accounts, the cost will be less. Only thing is, while creating the SQL DB, just take care of it. While creating the SQL DB, you should be selecting development instead of production. And while creating SQL DB only, on the right side, it will give you how much it is going to charge.
Mhm.
That would be the
Okay.
maximum price. And that also will be only 200 per month only. Only maximum
Okay.
cost will be in the case of SQL DB only. Storage account, it
Okay.
will be costing only tens of rupees for so much GB of data. Anyway, we are not putting GB of data also here, right? So storage account, it will not cost you. Data factory also, for the data we are processing, it is very less.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So 400, 500 should be okay.
yes, yes.
Maximum.
We will,
But when we go,
when we
okay.
start
Okay.
Databricks, no, when we start Databricks,
Uh-huh.
we first, anyways, we'll start with community edition. For 4 or 5 classes, we'll
Mhm.
work on community edition. There it is free. I'll tell you how to use
Okay.
community edition. After creating Databricks on Azure platform, first 15 days it will give free. So in those 15
Okay.
days, we'll complete our classes anyways. After that, for
Okay.
practice, I'll tell you how to optimize that, how to stop the
Sure.
channel. I'll show you that. I'll show. For now, it is not an issue. This is very minute amount only. Only SQL DB
Oh.
will give you issues just while creation, select development only, not production. That will
Oh, okay.
reduce
Is
your
it possible to stop that server and restart when I'm working only? Like
cost.
for Postgres, I know we can stop the server.
Best you can delete your database whenever you are
Uh-huh.
working, create a new database, build pipelines, and after that you delete the database.
Okay. Fine. But it is not possible to stop the server.
No, it will not work. Only thing is it is allocating some space for database, right? For that it is charging
Hmm.
some 200, 300.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Omsekar, you're asking something?
Yes, yes, Shashank, can you give me some 20 minutes extra for next week, actually, after completion of this sessions? Maybe I
Yes.
will come with some questions
Yes, we can
regarding my.
connect. We can connect.
Okay,
Yes, sure.
okay, maybe you can say before starting the session, maybe when you are having free time after the
Yeah.
session, maybe
I'll
at the
ping you
time.
on WhatsApp. We can connect on Monday. Before or after, we'll do it. Not an issue.
Okay, sure, Shashank. Thank you.
Sure, sure, sure. Something. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, then,
Bye,
guys.
Shashank. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, bye, guys.
Bye.